There it is, there it is, there it is. There she blows, there she blows. That was the big call in Moby Dick. There she blows, another whale, you know. There she blows. There's the sun, people. There's the sun this morning, a new day. Good night, everybody in the west of the Americas. Have a great sleep. We're getting up. We have a new day already. The sun is risen. Yes, he truly is. Good morning. Amazing mercy. Our big celebration today. Mercy is so great. It has a name. It's called Divine Mercy. Divine Mercy. You know, there's a famous statement, like a proverbial statement. Sometimes they'd say it to us as kids. Cleanliness is next to godliness. So they'll be motivating you, you know, to wash your hands, to take a bath. All things little boys aren't in a hurry to do. And cleanliness is next to godliness. But actually, maybe we could say mercy is next to godliness. Well, obviously then it doesn't rhyme like cleanliness and godliness. But mercy. Imagine, where would this world be without mercy? Where would this world be without mercy, without the reflection of that incredible divine compassion that has so many nuances of goodness, reflecting in so many places across our world. Thank you for joining us this morning. So let's go for a little walk. Now the sun is north of east. It's just a little bit north of east, like the equinox would be straight across from us here, maybe between the middle tree and the right tree. And the sun will be progressively rising further and further north. It won't get as far as the Mount of Beatitudes, but it will get maybe as high as that hill in Syria, which we can't see right now. It's over there. At least I can't identify it. It's probably covered by that cloud from our perspective. So let's step up the walk here, because without clouds, all the heat escaped last night, no blanket around the earth. So it's chilly. It was actually very chilly yesterday evening as well. There was supposed to be rain, and I'm not sure if rain fell. It's possible it did. It's kind of damp, but there were lots of clouds into yesterday evening. There was a lot of rain north of us, I think. From the Mount of Beatitudes further north, we could see it pouring down. And we were blessed to have a wonderful celebration for Mary Magdalene here yesterday without much rain, without any rain. So that was very, very good for us. I'm just checking my microphone here so that it's visible and not buried in my jacket. Let's see where we'll head today. So once we started close to the house, we won't get that far, but we'll try. Get a nice little bit of a walk. Here we have the bougainvillea in full bloom. There are lots and lots of plants in full bloom. And also trees. The olive trees are in full bloom. The mango trees are in full bloom. when I was cycling up on Friday evening to do the German evening stroll, sunset stroll. And chat, we do that every Friday evening. It's there on the YouTube for you, or on the Facebook. You can scroll down and see it. And it's interesting. Some people write and say, "What language is that? What language is that?" And so they on the road there I passed a lot of mangoes, a lot of olive trees in full bloom, and also a lot of bananas. They all have their little bananas hanging from them, a little bit bigger than the size of your fist. All the little fingers, banana fingers. So we're heading through here. These are really weeds. I think this is a parasite that's not a parasite but a climber, and it's wrecking these trees here. They need a lot of help. But this is outside of our domain. There's not much we can do about that. This place is in a mess of garbage in the last couple of weeks. Total disaster. Such a contrast to the nice sunrise. You can see the wind there. Well, you can't see the wind, but you can see the effect of the wind. I mean, you see all that move when you say it's not my breath. So today we're on the octave of Easter. 8 days of Easter celebration. This is our biggest octave in the year liturgically. We also have an octave for Christmas. And there are actually a couple of other octaves in there, kind of more discreetly present in August. From the 15th of August to the 22nd of August. And then it's, I'm not sure if there's another one as well. But this is the big one, and today it's concluding. But then the Easter season continues. All 50 days of Easter season, since Easter Sunday to Pentecost. And there are no camps, no tents here at all, you know. That's amazing. That's interesting, isn't it? Because it's Sunday, it's the first day of the week, so everybody's gone to work. For us, coming from countries of Christian culture historically, then Sunday is the day off, and here it's Shabbat. And the reason why we have Sunday is because of the resurrection and because of Pentecost, the new creation. Shabbat is the day at the end of the old creation, and Sunday is the day of the new creation. So they're all gone to work, they're all gone, they all folded up their camps and they're gone. You remember how we used to be able to walk along here, outside these railings? That's a while ago. And now there ain't no walking here unless you guys can walk on water. Or we'll get Kathleen along with her with her little paddle board, which she's planning to do as well, you know. You know that at the end of the lake down there, you're looking at Jordan. There we have Tiberias, and in the distance, that's Jordan, because there's a valley there just a little bit north of there, in our direction, and you can kind of see the beginning of it behind the Golan Heights, the South Golan Heights, and that valley cuts in across, and it eventually also becomes a separation between Jordan and Syria. And there are amazing hot baths there. The water is unbearably hot, which were actually developed by the Romans. And so there's hot water coming out of the ground naturally that's unbearably hot, okay? It's maximum unbearability. If there's such a word as unbearability. There's some type of a little plane up here and I can't see where it is. I wanted to show it to you, but I can't identify where it is. It sounds like it's gone off east. That's funny, I couldn't identify that. So the great mercy, divine mercy, amazing mercy. It's already expressed in the Psalms in a way. What is man that you think of him? Mortal human beings, that you love us, that you care for us. And especially that care is actually when we have shown very poor response or very even negative response. Because mercy is actually something that's not deserved. A different attitude could easily be had. We remember that parable, you know, of the guy that was going to be fired, and not just fired, he was going to be sold into slavery with his wife and children and all his belongings, and he begged for mercy. And he said, I'll pay back everything, give me a chance. And so the big boss said, okay, Okay, I accept, I agree. And then that guy goes out the door and he throttles a guy who owed him pittance, something very small. And so the other employees and workers were aware of this and felt very uncomfortable and went and told the boss. And he called him in and he said, "Shouldn't I forgive you all your debt? Shouldn't you have forgiven the others?" We're in a new kind of economy, you see, because we've been forgiven so much. Forgiveness is part of good living among others. Inside marriage, in family, among friends. Culture of forgiveness. Forgiveness is where it's going, you know. This is the new economy. It's no longer exaction of debt. The ability of mercy is amazing. I'm climbing in here over these, look at all those flowers. Climbing over these rocks here. I wanted to show you, just the sun lit up these thistles for me, or for you actually. So I figured I should get that camera a little bit closer so you could see that beauty. And then we have the other ones here, the purple ones. More pinky and more purpley. This is purpley ones coming, but they're not there yet. And this is the purpley one better here. More purple. And here you can actually see some pink ones and purple ones basically together. Look at that amazing architecture, engineering. And they make themselves, and our buildings haven't created new buildings yet. There's no seed that falls out of the 5th floor of a building that grows into a new building. And these guys have inbuilt architectural plans for the next generation, and engineering plans, and biological plans, all inbuilt, all handed on generation to generation. And they're just thistles. And that's pretty good. Look at the inside of each of those little flowers. I wonder if we could get that to open up more. We might get some more detail there. I haven't looked inside these. Look at that. Look at the structure of those little pieces. Wow. And that'll become the thistle seed that we didn't like on the farm. We didn't like thistles. Thistles were no nourishment for the animals. They wouldn't eat them. They were thorny. But it's amazing to look at a camel. I'm sure maybe if you were here, you got to see camels. They wander around wild in the Judean desert. And the camels are able to eat every thorny thing. I mean, really serious thorns. They have some lips that are absolutely able for thorns. It's amazing. They demolish thorn bushes. Crazy. And we have a big cluster of these thistles right there. So the reading today starts off with the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 4. The community of believers was of one heart and mind, and no one claimed that any of his possessions was his own. They had everything in common. You know, I use the word without thinking of this aspect of things. With economy, the new economy of life is mercy. And forgiveness is a big dynamic of the new economy of life, of the new creation, redeeming people. The whole idea of redemption within life, within society. Not condemnation, exclusion, elimination, redemption. But it also has this economic aspect in terms of what we usually use the word economy for, financial things. And no one claimed that any of his possessions was his own. They had everything in common. And this was the style of life. And actually that's the style of life that I'm blessed to live in since 1974. I don't have a checkbook, I don't have a bank account, I don't have a business, I have a credit card, I don't have money that I own. My only legal possession is a crucifix, the place where mercy was revealed in a maximum zenith degree. They had everything in common. A little bit like families, Families, people get married, they have their family, their children, they're taking care of their grandparents. And this chair, that's not my chair. My toothbrush, okay, for hygienic reasons, But the food, the cleaning up, the activity, the apples on the table, it's not my apple, it's everybody's apples. So the family lives that because the family lives also in that logic of love and sharing. We're one, unity, community. We have it all in common, And obviously there's that instinct in the human being. The 4-year-old says, that's my teddy bear, not my sister's. Give it back to me, that's mine. So we have this amazing dynamic happening, this tension between what's in common, shared, and what's proper to each one. And that's very interesting. And it needs great education by the parents. Because on the one hand, the 4-year-old has to respect that the other person has something that shouldn't be broken, that it's theirs, it's their bowl of soup, it's their piece of cake, it's their glass of Coke. But then also the idea of having everything in common and doing things together, the ability to build community. There was no needy person among them, for those who owned property or houses would sell them, bring the proceeds of the sale and put them at the feet of the apostles, and they were distributed to each according to their need. Very interesting community, According to their need, the needy, those who need. And we still have that ability and awareness in the world today to identify the neediest and to help them. And we see many times it's not accomplished, and there's always a challenge to accomplish it again and again and again. Because somebody today who's riding high in the society in the horse can be in prison tomorrow, or can be down with a cancer or with a severe cold just simply like that, or can be destitute, can lose their business. How do we take care of the needy? And this is also part of the culture of mercy. The economy of mercy. You know, somebody earns another $1,000 and they're very happy. There's a great happiness. But there's even more happiness in that extra $1,000 that's not an immediate need for me, becoming the possibility of launching somebody out of misery by helping them to do a course that equips them to get a new job, and there's creativity, and they're launched into a new level of fulfillment. And to see that happening, to enable that happening, there's more joy in giving than receiving. You see, this is part also of the culture of mercy. The joy in giving. And there's need for that in the house, you know. In the family, little children are very needy of 1,000 things. Yesterday there was a family visiting in the evening, and they had a little girl. She was probably, I don't know, I'm not good at judging their ages, but maybe 2 to 3 years old, or maybe not even 2. And she was running around, you know, and the parents were like, their eyes were always on the child because they had to watch. She was walking along the pools in the garden, and she then got excited when the fountain started, and she wanted to go in and clasp it, but if she did, she'd fall into the water, you know. And the parents, mom was right there, you know. Didn't happen. She protected. Somebody told us yesterday in a note that these are oleander, and there's tons of them on the Route 90 going further north. I saw them on the bicycle the other day, tons of them. And this must be their high season. And they said that the leaves are poisonous. So we're not going to try the leaves in salad, okay? And so the parents have to say, no, child, you don't eat that leaf. Put that out of your hand, wash your hands, it's poisonous. You know? And child, you should eat this leaf. This is very good, it's spinach. Yeah, I don't want spinach. Yeah, learn to eat it. See, we're needy when we're children, but we're also needy when we're elderly. And so our roles reverse, you know. We go from being needy to being the ones who help. And then we go from being the ones who help to being the ones who are helped. I remember my parents, God rest them, in the last year of their life is really when they became really needy, because they both passed from cancer. And then very quickly they needed more and more help as their physical strengths failed and their ability to provide for their various needs. So that's an experience really that all human beings go through, even the richest, the most famous, the most powerful, the greatest athletes. And they were needy. Somebody put on their diapers, and maybe at the end of their life somebody's putting on their diapers. One day I met Tarzan. I was at Mass in Hollywood. I don't know how many years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, doing one of those trips promoting Magdala and the Holy Land. And I was coming out of Mass, and there was a guy in a wheelchair, and it turned out somebody said to me, that's Tarzan. We were chatting, you know, and I was talking to Tarzan, and he was in a wheelchair. He was an actor for Tarzan. You know, Tarzan can end up in a wheelchair as well. All of us who play Tarzan in different ways in life, we have to realize that we should be merciful to others, even when we're Tarzan. Especially when we're Tarzan, because afterwards it's going to change. And we need a Tarzan of mercy to provide for us, because our needs might be so great. And Psalm 118 really captures this, you know. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love is everlasting. And I think we leave it like that, people. We've been on for over half an hour, I just noticed, so that's overdue, over time. And you have lots of stuff to do, so I don't want to keep you. And I thank you for joining this morning, this beautiful Galilee morning, this day of amazing mercy. And there are 2 more readings coming that are very beautiful, developing this whole revelation of mercy. Incredible readings, especially the Gospel is particularly, but the second reading as well is very powerful. I'll leave that with you. You're going to have the link there, and I'll say God bless you, thank you for joining, great to have you, see you later, all the best. Let's give you more sunrise before we close off here. Plenty of oleander.